What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Kagey is here, and I brought a friend.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You have hoodwinked me! Oh, oh my goodness! Wow, is this what you're doing? Yeah.
I brought a friend with me, guys. I've been waiting to talk about Tottenham for a while now. It's been for over a month. We've been waiting for a new manager to be appointed. They're still not moving right, so I've just had to bring him on early and get his thoughts on everything Tottenham and Euros, transfers, everything. We'll get into it all. Yeah, the background, yeah, Tobs. Come on, you know.
This is shady. This is shady. You know what? I was gonna allow Calvin Phillips, but now fuck it. Cool. Fuck it. No holds barred. No holds barred. Cool.
No holds barred. Yeah. So yeah, people. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Toby's links in the description, in the title, and yeah, we're gonna get into this now. So Tottenham, right? We got to start with the main event, which is Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not even about this managerial search that's going on right now. Let's talk about when they sacked Jose,
yeah,
and appointed Ryan Mason.
Brian fucking Mason, ridiculous.
Like how does and I looked around for feedback on Ryan Mason, and I didn't see anybody going against it. You know, like what has this guy done? He's not even a Tottenham legend or anything like that. I didn't see anything, but yet it was just accepted. Like.
Nah,
it should be all right. What
You're right, and I think maybe for a lot of the fan base, in fact, maybe I wouldn't even say a lot. I'd say probably like 50% of the fan base were for it. They were like, "Oh, it's Ryan Mason. Oh, he's real Spurs. He bleeds Spurs. Whatever the fuck that means. He's Spurs DNA. All this. You know, all these cliche statements."
Yeah,
I'm even gonna find it now. So before what's mad is before Jose Mourinho got sacked, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, I saw a report saying, someone tweeted saying, unpopular opinion, we should give this man the job. And it had a picture of Ryan Mason. And I laughed. I said, stop playing Football Manager and get in the real world. You want Ryan Mason to manage Spurs. And then lo and behold, 2 weeks later, Ryan Mason is managing Spurs.
Yeah.
Now, if you've watched I remember my emergency Jose Mourinho video, I spoke about not wanting this guy. I didn't want this guy as our manager, but I was desperate to get Jose Mourinho out. So I was looking more of it as Jose's gone. Yeah, this guy, I don't want him. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy in the slightest, but our season's done. And he's only going to be here for what, 6 weeks? Whatever. Cool. That was it. But my word, I do not want to see this guy anywhere near the dugout. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him forced onto any new manager that comes in as part of the coaching staff. I don't even want to see him in consideration for any other Spurs job associated with who our manager is, because he has absolutely no credentials whatsoever.
No. Yeah,
and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that he was our manager. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's what I was saying to you, and we spoke about this in a WhatsApp conversation. I just said they just normalized it. Like for me, Ledley King would have been a more acceptable placeholder because he is actually a Tottenham legend. You know, he has actually got credentials in that. You know what he's been doing with the youth system and everything else like that. So why was no one like saying, well, what's happening with Ledley King? But Ryan Mason just come in and, you know, he speaks like Scott Parker. So again, it's accepted. You know, he talks well. But apart from that, he didn't do, apart from dropping Ndombele, he didn't do anything.
I'll tell you what he did. He beat bums. He beat the bottom tier sides. He beat them. Yeah, you're right. But when we came up against decent opposition, the same issues reared their ugly head, and that's not all down to Ryan Mason because the team's been busted. It's the same with Jose Mourinho. Like I wanted him gone, and I'm happy he's gone, but to blame every single thing that went wrong on Jose Mourinho, it's naive and it's downright stupidity.
Yeah,
because the manager done changed and the team still stinks. And before Jose Mourinho came in, the team was stinking.
yeah.
So it's not all down to Mourinho, but these managers have a big say in how they implement their idea onto a football pitch and how they instruct our players. And for the most part, Brian Mason was just out of his depth.
Yeah.
Clueless.
Yeah, and Tobs, I know, we know how much you dislike Jose, but you know, it's telling though that someone like Harry Kane did come out and say, "I'm sorry, Jose, not everyone could get on the same page," and I think that is a fair point as well because Jose did, you know, for the first half of that season, instill a good mentality in you guys, but then you could just see it slowly and surely going away because a lot of those players haven't got that winning mentality or have got that. As you know, as he likes to say in an expletive way, that bastard mentality to just not be nice and everything else like that. And you could see Harry Kane was buying into it. Some was buying into it. But it goes down to, again, the squad. I think the squad has needed refreshing for a few years. I've said that as well when you lost the Champions League final. I said that at that point, it was a time where Pochettino could have probably walked away and on a high if you had won. But the recruitment just hasn't been there either. But we're talking new managers coming in. And there's a chance here where you might not see Eric Dyer leave because Nuno might come in. And he might like that Portuguese thing too, the way Jose took to it. So, I mean, we'll go to the present now with the manager merry-go-round.
Yeah.
You know, we started with Antonio.
I really want that guy. Antonio.
But you know what? But that would have been such a good appointment, though. And at the time, I was thinking, man, that is a really good get if they could get Antonio. But do you think that when you look at the timing now, do you think that was to do with season tickets?
Bro, I won't rule it out. I know it sounds quite deceitful and wicked, and you have to be a special type of devious to try and do that. But I do think we can't rule anything out with this board, because why even enter into conversations with Antonio Conte if you're not going to give him what he wants? Like, this is what I mean about this club. It's haphazard and it's just knee-jerk and just jump in from bed to bed. Yeah. If Spurs were a woman, they'd be working in the red light district in Amsterdam. And I'm talking daytime on a Wednesday, not prime time. Because they're jumping into bed. Yeah. They don't even know what they're getting into. Yeah. And you're not even able to offer the client what you want. Let me move away from this analogy, but let's talk about managers. Why even go for Antonio Conte? As I said, if you can't give this guy what he wants, it's just the audacity of this club. He's literally just left the club that he won the Serie A with. For what reasons? They said that they were going to scale back spending. They said he was going to have to sell players. They said he was not going to be able to bring in some of the players that he wanted to build on their success. So he left.
Yeah.
At Chelsea, he stank out the joint because why? He didn't get his way with certain players. He didn't get his power of say in how they wanted to move in the window. This is a man who does not compromise or bend for what he believes in. So if you're bringing him, you have to back him 100%. You have to give him funding. You have to give him total assurance that you are buying into his philosophy. So the audacity for you to think that he can leave a league-winning team and you're going to get him and come and try and make him bend to your expectations of how you want the club to be ran. Where do you... What planet are these guys from?
And this is what the point John H is making here. Conte would have been a terrible appointment for Spurs. He'd never get on with the owners. And that's a lot of the thing I was saying as well when some Spurs fans were trying to say Bielsa. Bielsa is the exact same way, not on a scale where he needs 200, 300 million, but things around the training ground and his staff taken care of and everything else like that, nutrition and people buying into it. And if they don't do it, he'll leave. And he's done that in the past. So that's why I said as well, I don't think Bielsa wouldn't even consider Tottenham anyway, not because Tottenham aren't a good club, but it's just that London, everything else, it's just not Bielsa. I think Bielsa's just moved out from a flat above a shop in Leeds. Seriously. He's not built in a way that a lot of people are.
He's a simple man.
Yeah, but you know, and then we went to Fonseca. Yeah.
Paulo.
Yeah. And he would have been worse than Jose Tobes. Seriously.
Because he's not a better manager than Jose.
Yeah,
he plays. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, he plays better football, but if the remit was just to hire a manager who plays attacking football, go get Martinez in. Go get Eddie Howe in. Yeah, go get them in. If that's the remit, if that's free throwing Spurs DNA, go get these men in. But Spurs fans will never accept these guys because we know they're not levels. They've not done anything in their managerial career to tell you that they're going to be able to move the needle in terms of where we are now to where we want to be in 2-3 years' time.
Yeah.
And the same applies to Fonseca. I don't think the guy's a bad coach, but I'm sorry, you don't sack Jose Mourinho to bring in some inferior manager who's not even done half, even a quarter of what Jose Mourinho's done. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. And I hate to talk about Jose's resume and stuff, but even if I'm going off current managerial ability, what has Fonseca shown me to believe that he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho? What's he showed me?
Yeah.
What's he showed me?
Apparently he can't even count subs. So, you know, it's not good, is it? You know, he plays ineligible players on the pitch and everything else like that. But, you know, moving from Fonseca, and the worst thing is, though, that was all done and dusted. You know, they were ready to announce it and everything. But then that Italian tax thing came in and they just
it's not even Italian tax, you know.
You think it was the Gattuso thing?
It was the Gattuso thing, 100%. Paratici's moving like a blind drunk, and Levy's just letting his wild dog just run loose. He saw that Gattuso was available, and they abandoned plans for Fonseca. They abandoned plans for Fonseca and went for an even worse manager in Gattuso. And then when the backlash and then the undigging and then the digging out of his historical past came to light, they said, Green, let's veto this thing. But again, senseless club. Any club with a brain would have known what Gattuso is on for years.
Yeah. Well, at least, you know what? At least they listen. I think the backlash was way too big for them not to listen, in all fairness, because you only had all sections of your fan base, you know, ethnic minorities, females, just saying, no way, you're not bringing this guy into the club now. And he may have changed, we don't know, but you don't want that publicity when you're already in a sticky situation anyway. Right. So, you know, someone above there said Graham Potter, and I know you don't like talking about coaches like this and Eddie Howe and all that, but ideally now Nuno is probably going to get it, but we've been here before. What are you saying about Graham Potter? Would you take him at Tottenham?
My stance on Graham Potter is the same. I didn't want him, not because he's a bad manager. I didn't want him because I don't think he's got enough experience in dealing with the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I think it's a big difference. I think it's a big difference going from trying to keep a club afloat in the Premier League, having full reign to play the way you want to play, to all of a sudden not getting your own way with signings and having to work with what you've got and still having to basically achieve targets that really aren't realistic with the players that you've got right now. So It's a big jump. It's a big jump. And I feel like for me, I wanted someone like Graham Potter to get a bit more experience managing at a higher level than Brighton before he came to Spurs. But that being said, I'm happily taking him over Nuno. I'm taking him over Fonseca. I'm taking him over Gattuso. I'm taking him over some of the names that we've been hearing to the Spurs job in recent weeks. So if Nuno is the manager that we're going for, I will happily take Graham Potter over him because I'm a football purist.
Yeah,
I know that there's multiple ways to skin a cat. I get that, and I appreciate the type of way that Nuno plays, and it worked. It served him well at Wolves. But I want to see my best players blossom. I like that organization at the back, yes, but I want to see my midfield players blossom. I want to see my attackers use to the best of their capabilities. And I don't believe we're going to that's going to be the case under Nuno. I do believe that would be the case under Graham Potter. Brighton's defensive record was one of the best in the bottom half of the table, was it not? His teams retain good organization at the back. Fair enough. The profile defenders they have are better than some of the other teams in and around them. Cool. But ultimately, the shape that they have out of possession is good. And the football they play when they're in possession is even better. So I will happily take that over Nuno Espirito Santo's counter-attacking organizational based structure. 100%.
Yeah, the thing that Graham Potter was missing at Brighton was a striker. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Graham Potter is the be-all and end-all, but you could tell with the way that Brighton were playing, they just missed so many chances, man. Ridiculous
100%.
amount of chances. And that's what hindered them in the end, because their defense, their goalkeeper and defense, well, Ben White is, probably pending to Arsenal, but they were really organized, man. They got a big old 7-foot left back that people can't get around.
Exactly. Yeah. He's not even good.
Yeah. So, and Lamptey's been hurt most of the year as well, so they've even got him to come back. They're
playing Veltman at right wing back, and he's a centre back that's CDM. Right wing back. Here's one for you as well, because my thing is this, Jose. Our fans, including me, we hounded Jose out because at times when the game was there to be got, he wouldn't put his foot off the brake. He wouldn't go full throttle. Yeah. What do fans think Nuno is going to be like then? Because he is literally, he's a descendant of Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is the Don Dada. Nuno is one of his disciples. Nuno literally adopts the same philosophy that Jose plays. So the same complaints that we had for Jose Mourinho are going to be the same complaints we'll have for Nuno. Only Nuno is half the manager, half the achievements, half the pedigree, half the player pool.
Yeah, and not even half on some of those, But
exactly, not even half. And again, and I said I don't like shitting on these managers because the names we've mentioned, apart from Gattuso, I don't think these guys are legitimately bad managers, but they're not better than what they're not going to give me comfort that it's going to be an upgrade in enough areas over what we had before. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with Nuno, and you're right, he is very defensive minded. He's usually playing 5 at the back, 3 centre backs, and then and you could see as well that the plan just went to pot when Jimenez went out.
Yeah,
Wolves looked so stale. They didn't have a plan B.
Bro, this is it.
And sometimes it's not even about having a plan B, it's just having a plan A and then make it better. But you could see Wolves they didn't have many ideas, and this is with wingers like Podence and Neto when he was fit. So, and I do like Nuno, but I said to you, I like him, but I wouldn't want him to manage my team.
This is it. This is it for me. Speaking about him, it makes it almost look like I don't rate him as a manager. It's further from the truth. It's no easy feat to get a team who have just been promoted, consecutive 7th spot finishes into Europa League, getting them to the quarterfinals. His teams at times, they've played some brilliant counter-attacking football, and I respect what he's done. But I just know how it's going to go with him at Spurs. I've seen that type of manager at Spurs. I know how it ends. It's not going to end well. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's better we get a manager that maybe may not have the pedigree that he has, but can adopt a system that we can get on board with on the pitch. That's the way I see it with Nuno Espirito Santo. That's the way I see it, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean it's this thing as well, because I was on the Square Ball Extra with some Leeds fans, sick plug, but and we was talking about Leeds something being Leedsy, and I just said I don't think that's a thing anymore because we're a well-run club now. We're back where we should be in the Premier League. We've got a great coach, world-class coach, and we've got a never-improving squad.
World-class coach.
World-class coach. Let me see how many coaches could make Stuart Dallas, Matthias Klick, Calvin Phillips, and say, you know what, you're going to be my holding midfielder onwards. Let's see how many could do that from the Championship. But, never mind that. But I'm just saying, we're in a great place now, but the whole thing Spursy, and that's why I got Chiellini on the back there, Chiellini, just, the history of the Tottenham.
I hate this guy so much. I hate him.
We believe in the history, But it is something now, isn't it? You got to say, with everything that keeps on going on with your club, there's a lot of after-field problems, and you just think as well, if it looks like Son may be staying,
Yeah.
but if Harry Kane is looking to move, which it does look like, what do you see next season looking like, man?
Bad. And is this with Kane staying or without him staying? Sorry.
You know what? It could be both, because I know that Kane won't down tools. I know he's not that kind of person, but it still will be in the background. It will still be in the locker room where people know he wants to go, and it affects morale.
Yeah.
So, with or without, give me a scenario for both if you've got one.
With or without, it will be poor. I mean, we had him having one of his best ever seasons, and we finished 7th. We had Son literally having the best ever campaign he's had in terms of numbers for us, and we finished 7th. So I don't really see much changing. It's the same ownership who are gonna still keep the faith with poor, underperforming players. It's the same ownership that are still gonna get it wrong in terms of our recruitment. Yeah, we've got a director of footballing who I had a lot of faith in, but the way he's moving with some of these managerial appointments, it shows me that maybe he is not the guy that I thought he was. Do you get what I'm saying? So I have no expectations heading into this season. I damn sure don't expect this team to finish in the top 4. I don't even expect this team to finish in the top 6. I think we're going to finish 7th or 8th again. I really do. I really do. And that's with Harry Kane and Son. Without them, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. The team's busted. No managers come in now. Preseason starts in like a week and a half, and we still got a lot of the bums that we needed to clear out. Yeah, we've not brought in any new players yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this seem that serious to you? People keep
there's
telling
not a
me
lot of transfer activity.
Yeah.
In all fairness, there's not a lot of transfer activity going on right now because of the Euros. So everything's just speculation right now. I mean, we're linked with a couple players ourselves, and there's no point for me talking about it until it becomes more concrete.
The thing is, but my thing is this though, KG, you can do, like, there's business to be done before the Euros and during the Euros. Like, we sold Juan Foyth. Villarreal made his option permanent. We've got rid of all the players that obviously their contracts have expired and stuff like that. But you're seeing Man City close to wrapping up a deal for Grealish. You're seeing Jadon Sancho edging closer to a move to Man United. You're seeing Granit Xhaka, Arsenal, looking at they're going to offload him to Roma, and he's playing football for Switzerland. They've already basically sold Guendouzi. Yeah, teams are making moves. I get that the bulk of the activity will pick up after the Euros and stuff, but I've seen no intent, no desire, no appetite to address any of the issues that we've addressed. And to then compound our misery, we sacked Jose Mourinho over 60 days ago, and we still don't have a manager in.
Yeah. Well, that's going to hamper your recruitment anyway, because the player's going to go, well, who's the manager?
There you go.
And the manager will come in and say, actually, I don't like that guy. And then what happens to that player? So you can't get any players now until your manager's appointed. But are you just hopeful now that the thing will be over and Nuno's appointed? At least you've got a base to start from. I
don't even want Nuno, but listen, just get a manager in, man. It's enough is enough now. What I want, it doesn't matter anymore. As I said, expectations couldn't be further beneath the ground, beneath the surface. It's in hell right now, so it's literally in the pits of hell. So whoever they want to bring in, just bring in a manager and just start planning for the season ahead.
All right. What about to this comment, Nobes? This is what you wanted. I remember you saying having Mason instead of Mourinho was good for squad morale. Is that something you would say?
Having Mason, of course it is. What the hell? The whole point was getting rid of Jose Mourinho because he was toxic for our flipping squad. What? Of course it is. Literally any option would have been better than Jose Mourinho then, because it had reached a point of no return. You saw what you saw. He was fully beefing most of our squad, and granted, most of our squad are bums, but you can't have a manager who's just who's just tearing up the base like that. Like, people don't understand how much of an impact that makes on a team. It happened at Man United. It happened at Chelsea. What do people expect? What, like, you can just tear it up and have a toxic atmosphere, and the results are bad, and yet you want us to keep it going? What? Come on, man.
What about to this comment? It's a pretty good point, you know, because a lot of that Wolves recruitment was via George Mendes.
Yeah,
you know, he was getting in the players left, right, and centre. They had a good agreement there. I don't know if that would even carry on with Tottenham, but if it isn't, again, we don't even know what that looks like. We can't even say.
Well, George Mendes is responsible for Gedson. George Mendes is responsible for Doherty. George Mendes was Gattuso's agent. So it seems as if, for whatever reason, George Mendes has a huge influence on Spurs these days. So I think if Nuno is appointed as our coach, as our manager, then I still believe that George Mendes presence will be heavy. But I don't think that's a good thing for Spurs either, because I feel like we're yet to see the benefits of signing George of getting George Mendes clients, because we seem to be getting like really, really busted ones or ones who just turn out to be dead.
Yeah. In all fairness, I thought Matt Doherty would have been better for you, because he was really good at Wolves, but again, just hasn't worked out for him there.
With him, I had such high hopes for him. I really did. I had huge hopes for him. I thought, you know what, this is it. 28 years old, 2 years in the Premier League proven. Yeah, you're a right wing back, but you can offer us what we've lacked going forward, but he's just been a nightmare. He's been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Harry Kane rumor. Was it 100 million plus Laporte? Would you have taken that?
100%. 100%. I would have taken it. But I don't think that's what they bid. I think what they've bid is, or what they've been rumored to have bid is 100 million guaranteed plus first refusal on Laporte or Sterling or Jesus, which is to me, I'm like, that's a dead deal for Spurs, because one, that doesn't meet our cash valuation of Harry Kane. Two, we then have to spend a bulk of that cash on one of their players, because let's be real, Laporte, if he goes, he's going for around 60 to 70 million.
Yeah,
the price that they bought him for. If Sterling goes, he's going for more, because he's 26 years old, on like probably 2 years left in his deal, on 300 bags a week. And then Jesus, if we bought him, they're gonna try and get around probably 35 to 50 million. They're gonna try and grab a Jesus, because let's be real, that's the going rate now for a good striker, right?
Yeah.
So that's either 50, 60, or damn right 80% of the cash that we have for Harry Kane gone on one of those players. And then the third point, why would any of those players want to come to Spurs?
Yeah, well, they already reported that Sterling would have said no.
100%.
And I think that was pretty obvious anyway. Yeah. I don't even think it was a question. And again, nothing against Tottenham, but Sterling's going to be looking for Champions League football or something.
No, don't say nothing against Tottenham. Everything against Tottenham. Shit. It is. Well, shit. We're in the flipping European Conference League, for heaven's sake. And you think we're going to be able to attract men who have just won a Premier League title? Come on. Nah.
They're in. I was trying to be respectful, but
mudded, man.
I see what's happening, man. Yeah.
You can't be saying you're trying to be respectful in that background. Let the chopper roll, man. Empty the clip.
That's a fair point. I gotta be nice at it. But other ones, Jack Grealish to Man City. So let's just say Man City did Grealish and Harry Kane. That would be over, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Scary hours.
It'd be over, man.
What do you think of it?
Me personally, I would love to see Jack Grealish on that kind of stage. He deserves it. For me, I don't say world-class players for everybody. I really don't. But for me, he is a difference maker. And you only have to look at Villa's form once he went out. They came straight back where they should be. but he can give you that difference. He's a difference maker in a team. And we see it for England in spurts where he can carry the ball. He's got no fear. And you need that when you're playing in a Manchester City team as well, because you know Pep will be barking at him and everything else like that. He's got the mentality to tough that out. And I think it would be a great move for Jack Grealish to go to Man City. Harry Kane too. We spoke on here before all of the rumblings came that Kane wanted to leave. I said it just makes sense for Man City because they're used to having a top-class striker who's not available all season long. And Kane will miss parts of the season. It's just, history tells you that. But he's going to get you the goals in the meantime, like Aguero did while he's fit. So for me, it just makes sense. It's just like, just get the deal done. Obviously, you don't want to hear that as a Tottenham fan, but for Harry Kane, if where he's looking to be. And I'm glad to see he's not settling as well. That's another thing because
you'd have to question.
I question that mentality because I did that with Aubameyang too. And I know he could be comfortable at Arsenal and everything else, but he could have been free and going to a European club that wants to win things, but he stayed at Arsenal. And I don't know if the season that he had coincides with that. I don't know.
For the cash,
but it just tells me something. But to see Harry Kane actively trying to go, I like that. I like that. And I think he wants to stay in the Prem because he wants that Shearer record as well. I definitely believe he's got that on his docket.
I think with Jack Grealish, I know, to be fair, you have been calling him world class for a minute. I don't think he's world class yet personally, but I do think he's quality. And I think you're right. I think now is the next step. Like, you've done the business at Villa. Like, I think it's clear now, it's bona fide now that he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
People like me, I didn't even think he was that good, but he had that. I'm not sure if you will definitely remember it because obviously you saw it unfold. There was that period. So you see that it was like probably like a 5 or 6 month period when he came back from injury in the latter stages of the 2018-2019 season. It was the season when we were meant to sign him in August and we didn't sign him. He came back from injury and I kid you not, he was literally winning them a game like every single week. Every single week, this guy winning them games, winning game after game after game after game. I'm thinking, is this what Grealish is on? And I see him in the league last season. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy looks a really good player. Then I see him in the league this recent season. That's just gonna say, okay, yeah, this guy is a quality player. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think it's now, like you said, you've shown that you can quite clearly carry this team, and you literally saved them from relegation. It's time for you to take the step up and come with the big boys because the expectations are going to be different now. At Aston Villa, you have all the ball, you have all the opportunity to be the difference maker. When you're at Man City, you have players who, with all due respect, demand the ball more than you, and they have every right to demand the ball more than you because they're better than you. It's interesting to always see the dynamic when players go from being a big fish in a small pond to being one of the many fishes in a big pond. Do you get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I want to see how he adapts to that, but I feel like him at Man City is like a duck to water, man. He plays the way that Pep Guardiola wants him to play. He's technically sound. He's versatile. Can play midfield. Can play left. Yeah.
He's got an elite mentality. You just listen to the guy talk. If people are telling him he's good, he says, "Yeah, I know." He's not on the humble thing where he's like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get better." He's like, "Yeah, I know I'm good." And the thing was with Grealish, I saw this years ago, and this is because he went out on loan to Notts County. This is how long ago I was watching him. He was in League One with Notts County, and it was like watching Dele Alli for MK Dons there, just a level above everything else in that league. And I'm a Leeds fan at the time where we're just a middling championship club. I'm like, why couldn't we get that Grealish guy on loan? And I could see him. You could just see he had the tech then, and he was only going to get better. And he's grown into this absolute machine now. And yeah, it's only right now that he goes to that next step, which is a bigger club. So, and I just want to take a word for all the Liverpool fans, yeah? All the Liverpool fans that keep talking about Raphinha.
It's ridiculous. I hate to use this word, but they're literally whoring themselves out, and it's embarrassing. Oh, I'm like, you've not even like what? Like,
Listen,
don't get twisted. Don't get twisted. Liverpool are Liverpool, innit? If they
yeah.
if they were to make a reasonable offer down, Raphinha's gone. Let's be real.
What? But this is what I'm saying, though, Tobes. When a player wants to go, there's no point stopping them. Let them go as long as you get the money that you want to get, and then move on. Because I don't believe in keeping players that don't want to be there. But there's been no rumblings out of Raphinha's camp, Deco, no one, to say that Raphinha wants to go. He's putting up IGs that he's ready for this season with Leeds, etc. It's just the way that they talk, like he's already there.
Like he's already there, yeah.
What?
It's embarrassing, and you know who's a big culprit for that as well. You know, Harold on Twitter, Quaku_TVB. Harold,
No.
he does foot. He says he is literally whoring himself out for Raphinha. I'm like, bruv, relax. You've not even bid for this guy. Like, stop it now. It's getting embarrassing.
And you know what? And here we go. Let me give you an example. This is something else I was going to bring up. You can take Origi. They're trying to package up these dead ballers like Nico Williams guy that give that second goal to Denmark.
Oh my God, he's awful defensively.
He's awful, you know. And you know what? They do this a lot as well. Liverpool fans, they gas their players up to the nth degree. And now you see that Nat Williams, Nat Phillips, yeah,
Nat Phillips,
he's being linked with those busted like Burnleys and all these guys.
Stuff. Yeah,
exactly where you believe that those players will end up. But they're trying to give us Origi and Nico Williams and any other dead baller they've got. Listen, here we go. You see what I'm saying? Harry Wilson, you know.
They're violating,
bro. And it's such a fact that these guys are, you know, they're so brazen, you know. What's the guy's name? And I think we both follow him actually. And I said, he was talking like Raphinha was already there. And I said, my guy, you guys haven't even bid. I don't think you've even got the cash that we're looking for to get Raphinha. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not saying that he's going to be there yet, but we'll see. It's like, we'll see what? They don't have that kind of cash right now.
Yeah, they don't.
They think that because he only cost 17 million, that we're just going to expect like maybe double that, and then they can throw in a few of these depth players. Yeah, you know, it's just the entitlement from some of these like big elite clubs, and you can even say that about Harry Kane too. What these clubs have got to understand is that Well, I'll speak to the people. What people have to understand about Liverpool and all these big clubs is that clubs like Leeds and all these, we don't have to sell unless the player actually wants to go. You know, the money is good in the Premier League. It's not like 15 years ago where you'd have to say, oh man, all right, give us 30 million and see you later. Things have changed now, man. We don't need to accept the money unless the player wants to go.
100%. I think it's the same with us as well. Like people are so sure that Harry Kane is gone and stuff like that. Harry Kane, in my opinion, definitely wants to leave Spurs. I mean, why would he not? But he's contracted to us for 3 more years. And this comment, treating you like how City treat Tottenham. City have only bought one Tottenham player off us. And to get him, even when he wanted to leave, they had to pay a world record fee.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that comment means.
No. I think what he's saying is that Liverpool are trying to move like how Man City are trying to move with Kane. Like, we're giving you money, just accept it and let him come. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. And it will never run with us. Like Harry Kane, people don't deep it as well. They keep saying, "Oh, but who are you to say that Harry Kane is worth 150 million? Oh, you should be lucky. Take 100 million. He's injury prone. He's 28. The guy is literally the top of his food chain. Only Lewandowski can talk to this guy. One. Second of all, he is without a doubt, alongside Kevin De Bruyne, Van Dijk, Salah, whatever. He's like top 3, top 4 best players in the league. And in my opinion, he was the best player in the league last season. Do you get what I'm saying? And yes, he's 27 going 28, but the guy's certified and he's been doing this for years. Goals, assists, creativity, hold up play, heading, weak foot, everything he's got in his locker. And you're telling me that we should accept the cut price still for him. People don't actually deep it. He's literally our best ever player in the Premier League era. He is. When you look at the players we've had since 1992, yeah, since 1992 when the Premier League officially began, yeah, give me a Spurs player who you can 100% say has served Spurs better than Harry Kane.
Yeah. I mean, you've obviously had some like great players because
players like Lenny King,
Van der Vaart, Modric, all these. But when you're talking about who is the best, it's Harry Kane. And there's something else that goes in Harry Kane's favor as well. He's never relied on pace, so you don't have to worry about that being a factor when he's 33.
Exactly. Thank you. This is why I like you, man. This is what I'm saying. People are like, oh, but he's aging. I'm like, bruv, his game is not based on his brute athleticism. It's never been. He's a clever player. He uses his brain. I don't understand it, but yeah, you get it, but other people don't. So let's see what happens. People think he's gone. I've always said it's 50-50. Man City have the cash to sign him, but ultimately, if they come in with a bid that does not even meet our expectations of Harry Kane, why would we entertain it? We don't want to sell Harry Kane, and to be honest with you, even though he wants to leave, we do not have to sell Harry Kane for the reasons that you said. He's a consummate professional. He's not going to down tools, and we're in probably the worst period we've been in for 6 years, probably for 6-7 years. And then you want us to sell our best player on top of that at a cut price deal? Get real. Please, get real, man. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Let's go on to the Euros. And what have you made of it so far?
Yeah, I think it's been good. It was the break I needed from club football, and a few sides have impressed me. I'm not going to lie. I didn't get to watch the Italy game in full yesterday, but I see that they went through. I'm happy it was Chiesa that came on and scored.
Yeah,
the final goal. I really like him, but Italy have really impressed me this tournament. France have, France obviously have the best team, and they've looked good in moments, but as a whole, I don't think they've had a good tournament. I think they've had some standout individual players like Paul Pogba, barring that Hungary game. I think he's been excellent. I think Kante has been really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. They've not really hit a rhythm for me yet. Like when I've watched them play, they've not looked imperious. But to be honest, in that World Cup 2018, they didn't really look imperious again. They just looked defensively sound.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like teams like France haven't really hit the heights and everything else like that. But neither have England. But there seems to be a one-way narrative that England will get better as these go on, but then these other teams won't. Like it's very weird to me.
Yeah,
how that works. But yeah, I think it's been good, man. It's nice to see some of the players that I haven't heard of before. I like to see new players shine. Some of the players that I did know of, like Insigne and Locatelli and all these guys, like just doing their thing.
Yeah,
man. And even the Dutch, man, Wijnaldum,
bro, they look impressive, man. A lot of people telling me Frank de Boer. Like I was discussing it with Fuad, and he was worried about Frank de Boer, and rightly so, because the Boer,
rightly so. Yeah,
the Boer has been an awful coach, and I don't know for their organization, but I mean, they are, for me, in terms of like, if I had to list the top 5 team in terms of the football they've played and the fluidity and the ability to create chances, they're right up there.
Yeah,
like, they've played some really good stuff this tournament, and I think Wijnaldum has been key to all of that. I think he's been the best midfielder for me this tournament. I think Frankie's been really good as well, but I think Wijnaldum, when you add in the the midfield play and the goals he's scoring as well, I think he's been their best player in the tournament. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's next. And then obviously the team that you're representing with that top Germany. Like I get a lot of pelters for my love for Germany. I really like. I've always liked them as a footballing nation.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, why do you like Germany? Oh, you prefer Germany over England? I'm sorry that I like to see good teams play good ball. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But even Germany, when you want to talk about it, haven't been
they haven't.
outstanding. But that doesn't mean that can't change in the next game. And just before I go on to that game, let's just what you're saying for tonight's game. We've got Netherlands, Czech Republic, Belgium, Portugal. So I'm expecting Netherlands to dust Czech Republic, if I'm being
same.
honest.
A lot of people, yeah, same.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be calm. But Belgium, Portugal, it's interesting, man. Lukaku. See, Lukaku, for me, I love Lukaku. Like, just everything about the guy. I think he's great.
His mentality is A1.
Yeah.
I love his mentality. It's A1.
And he's still learning. You see him, man. He's talking to Thierry Henry. He's always wanted to learn. That's how you get better. And that's what he's done since he left Man United. It obviously just didn't work out for him there. But he was scoring goals everywhere else he's been, and he's done it again and won a championship too.
Yeah.
But you got him, but then on the other side, you got Ronaldo, man. And for
you
me,
think he's had a good tournament? I know he scored 5 goals, but like he's okay in it. But
he's 36. He's not going to do the 20 step overs and everything else like he used to do. But what he's doing, he's getting the best out of himself, what he can do right now. So you've got Jota and all these other guys doing the running for him, and he's finishing them off and whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I think he's doing exactly what he can do at this point in time.
Yeah,
you know. So for me, it's just an interesting one. Which alpha male is going to come out on top later? I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting game because I feel like Belgium's weakness, Belgium's big weakness, obviously being their defense.
Yeah,
they're coming up against the wrong team because I feel like Belgium will want to control possession, and we've seen what Portugal are like in transition. We saw it against Germany as well, especially with a coach like Ronaldo as well, especially with players like Jota who are really good in transition. I know he's not really had a good tournament, but
yeah,
the threat is still there. I think it's going to be an interesting contest. I just worry, as I said, for that Belgium defense because they play the 3 at the back, but Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld as your exterior centre backs, you're asking for problems, and then you've got Jason Denier in the centre, and he by all accounts is pants. But for me, but Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku. You see the impact. Like Lukaku, that Denmark game, Denmark should have beat them. Let's be real. On chances, Denmark should have beat them. But when Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne said, you know what, F this, I'm turning it on, I'm winning this game forever, there was nothing Denmark could do about it. And as good as Portugal's defense is on paper, they've been ragdolled by a couple sides this tournament. And Ruben Diaz, I think he's excellent, but I think he's in for a rude awakening if he thinks that he's gonna have a manageable contest with Lukaku. I think Lukaku's gonna give him hell tonight, and I think he needs to be on his A game because if he's not on his A game, Romelu's actually gonna steamroll him. And I want Belgium to win tonight. I really want Belgium to win tonight because I don't rate Portugal. I know they've got a talented squad, etc., etc. But I don't think their coach gets the best out of them, and I'm not impressed with the football they play. I think for the players that they have in their team, they should be looking better than they are. And the same can probably be said for Belgium to a certain extent, because I don't really think they've been outstanding this tournament. But I'd like to see them progress. I'd like to see Kevin De Bruyne get into the quarterfinals. I'd like to see Lukaku get to the quarterfinals. I'd like to see Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld get to the quarterfinals. I have more affinity to the Belgian players than I do to the Portugal players. Not that I dislike them, but I just want Belgium to win. So
you're saying Belgium win,
I'm going. I'm going for a Belgium win. Yeah, even with that shit defense, I'm going for a Belgium win.
You got a score prediction?
I said 3-2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I said that. I said 3-2. I think it's going to be goal for goal, and may the best alpha male win. Yeah. We'll talk about England, Germany, and Ashton brings up a point here. See, for me, it hurts me, man, because I love Paul Pogba and I love Kai Havertz, man. I like Kai Havertz when he was out in Leverkusen, and all these players just go to all the rival clubs in the Premier League. But for me, I'm happy just to see him in the Premier League because I'm a Leeds United fan, but I'm a football fan too. So if I can see them more often, even better. Same way when Beckham was in the league, man. Killed to have anyone like that delivering crosses and set pieces and just general play. But Kai Havertz, man, he's turned it up for Germany. He's been really good as well.
Yeah, he's played well. He played well.
Yeah.
In fact, let me not. Who did they play? I wasn't impressed with him against France at all, but against Portugal, he was really good. He was really good, and I think he bagged the important goal against Hungary as well. I watched the second half of that game. Like Hungary really gave a good account of themselves in this tournament per se. But yeah, Havertz has been decent. I like, the thing is, contrary to popular belief, because I always shit on Chelsea.
I know.
I do think people overrate Havertz. So I remember when they signed him, generational player this, is this.
Yeah, all that generational stuff. I can't stand all that stuff.
It's too much. It's too much. But I do think he's a talented player, and I think it worries me because I feel like he's already a good player now. He's only like what 21, 22, and he's got gears to go. Because one thing that I do like about him is technically he's clean, like he's sound. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He can dribble the ball. Sometimes his final pass is a bit sloppy, but he can play a final pass, and he's a goal getter as well. So I think Tuesday's game is going to be interesting to me because I was saying this to my friend. I think it's a closer game than a lot of people expect. On squad, if you're looking at it on squad on paper, it should be a close game. It really should be, because England have parts in their team that are better than Germany, but Germany have parts in their team that are better than England, obviously. And yeah, I think the Germany defense is there to be got at, but it's like, can Gareth Southgate get this team playing the way they should be playing? I think Germany are going to win, to be honest. I think Germany are going to win. I think people have been putting too much doubt on Germany, etc., etc. The know-how counts for something, and I know it's a cliche term, but it does. It does. Yeah. World Cup semi-finalists in 2006, Euro 2008 finalists, World Cup 2010. I think it's like semi-finalists. Euro 2012 semi-finalists again. World Cup 2014 winners. Euro 2016 like semi-finalists again. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, they had a bad World Cup in 2018, but this is a side that always go deep in these competitions, and this is a team that have a ridiculously talented squad. The midfield is fake. Kimmich, Kroos, Gundogan, Goretzka. Attack, I know he's not played well. I know he was poor against Hungary, but Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry, Kai Havertz, Thomas Müller, For the neutral like me, it's going to be a good game on Tuesday. It's going to be a good game. I'm not going to be there chanting for England to win and stuff like that. If England win, cool. I'm happy for Harry Kane and co. If they lose, it's really no skin off my back. Yeah. But I just want to see good teams ball, and I like watching Germany play. And for me, I'm not gonna lie. I'll have a smile on my face if Germany go through as well. I will. Yeah. It's no dig against England. If they were playing anyone else, I would still have the smile on my face. I just like them as a team. Yeah.
Same here all the time. And yeah, I do think Germany will win. I don't have a score prediction right now, so I'm not even going to put it out there. But I do think it will be a close game. But I think Germany will just have a little bit too much. But even if England do win, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's not like Germany. This is a team where in 2 years' time, I think will be one of the favourites when a couple of these players get a little older and some of the depth players come through as well. I think that's when we'll probably be more favourites. But yeah, I just see us. I see Germany doing like Saeed with Denmark, I see Germany doing. I do think that we're going to go through. I think Germany will do it. And you wanted to mention about England. We'll talk about some of the squad selection. Do you take Saka out of that team?
Right now, you don't, to be honest. In normal circumstances, Sancho should be starting every day of the week at right wing when Rashford was coming into this tournament in poor form. Sterling was coming into this tournament in poor form, but he's played his way into contention. In normal circumstances, Jadon Sancho should start, but I feel like you want to play your informed players. You want to play players who have made the impact. And it's not to say that Sancho can't make a similar impact for England, but it's just Saka for whatever reason, he got given the opportunity and he's taking it. So, and I think Bukayo Saka is one of the few players in that England team who are like direct. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like yeah, Jack Grealish in standing position, he can like go at players and stuff like that. Same for Sancho, but I feel like Bukayo Saka, he's constantly trying to go at his man. He's always, whenever he gets the ball, the first thing he's thinking is, how many men can I skip past? Can I go past you? Can I go past you? And I think that's
just before you carry on, just like to this point of Endo, like I'm not saying Saka was like out of this world like some people are saying, but what it is that what he gives to England is like Grealish. They're not scared to run with the ball. You see so many times with this England team, they get the ball just over the halfway line and it goes back
side, yeah.
You know, so that's what we talk about. It's about just trying to push the team forward and getting them forward and getting them up the pitch. And I think that's what Saka can deliver for England.
Yeah.
But they've got, you know, Gareth Southgate's got some choices to make. Sancho, for me, I don't even think Sancho's coming into this. He hasn't even made the bench in the early group games.
It's ridiculous, though, don't you think?
Well, it depends, man, because when you look at Sancho's performances for England, it's nowhere near what it is for Dortmund. And whether that's instruction by Southgate, what I see for Dortmund, he just looks like another England player. That's the best way I can put it. He just looks like another England player when he's playing for England. He's not doing any of the stuff he does for Dortmund.
I get that, but a talent as big as him, he has to be in contention to play. He really does. Like the same can be said at times for Harry Kane. Harry Kane's had a piss poor Euros, but the service has been bad for Kane.
Yeah,
service has been bad for Kane, and Harry Kane is their best player. So it's unfathomable for me for him to be dropped, and it's the same for players like Grealish as well. Like Grealish is quite comfortably England's best. I don't know, because I still consider him like an attacking midfielder. For me, he's comfortably England's best attacking midfielder. So he should play. And I feel like Sancho, I know he's not really shone for England on the right and stuff, but he's got to be featuring. He's too good to just be for you to not even use him as an option, especially in games where you're struggling as well. Especially in games where they struggled and you need a different solution. Why is he not getting a look in?
This is what Southgate has to answer. But I don't know if any of these journalists ever ask him why is Sancho not in the team, or if he's even given an answer. I don't know. I don't listen to all those press conferences and stuff, but you can see that he just doesn't probably have the belief in him like he does with other players in the team. Mm-hmm. But like we got Mason Mount there, he'll probably be coming back in.
Aren't they still like under isolation, or is that?
Yeah, but I think they're doing training via Zoom. They're getting tactical instructions via Zoom and everything else like that. So they're going to be clued into what Southgate wants to do. And I think Mason's got the ability anyway to just plug in and play. Yeah, because Mason for me, but what it was for me is that people were comparing him to Jack Grealish, and they're not the same player. So for me, it was always like, why are you comparing the two guys? They're just completely different players. But when you put Mason for what he is, he's a really, really talented baller.
He is. I think for me, when he first came out the gate in the Premier League, like I thought, like he looked good at Derby.
Yeah, he did.
He looked good at Derby. Like this guy looks like a good prospect for Chelsea, but like decent player right now. But honestly, he's gone up a lot in my estimations.
Yeah,
I think he's a good player, and I think the football he's playing at 22 years old, it bodes well for the future. I think like he looks like a player that can keep going and keep going and keep going. So I think Chelsea have got a good in their hands as well. Like it's always good to see a player basically become an important player in that team where they've not had to go out and shed loads of money on him. So power to him, man. Power to him. Chelsea fans will be shocked that I'm speaking so kindly about Mason Mount, because the niceties will be gone soon. But
and another thing on Mason Mount, another thing with the mentality, just like Grealish as well. Mason Mount, when Chelsea were buying all those midfielders, and he says, "Well, it don't matter to me who comes in. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and it should be good enough to play." again, he wasn't conceding. He didn't get himself down. He just said, "I've got to step up," and he did. So again, fair play to the guy.
100.
Man.
He's a good little player. He's a good little player. I wouldn't even begrudge Gareth Southgate playing him at this point, because I used to think it before. Why is Mason Mount this way? Now you just have to accept it, because he's done the business for Chelsea, and he's looked good for England as well. So maybe not so much this tournament, but generally, yeah.
Just before we hop off the stream, and remember, people, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to Tobs, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Before we go, Tobs, you said that before we went on that you wanted to talk about Calvin Phillips.
Yeah. Let's talk about Calvin Phillips before we wrap up, because he had a really good game against Croatia, and it's weird. It was an unorthodox game based on the Calvin Phillips that I've seen in the Premier League, because he's normally at the base. I know obviously Leeds do the one-to-one approach with the pressing, but like, he was all over the pitch. Like, he was pressing higher up the pitch. He was linking up with some of the attackers and stuff like that. Like, he looked like a new man in this free role, but like, I don't think he is a box-to-box player. I don't know about what your thoughts is on that. And I also think that he has been a little bit too cowardly in possession. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's weird. Like, Declan Rice, I can sort of get it, because with all due respect, I do think Declan is a better overall player than Calvin Phillips, but I don't think Declan is better on the ball.
No, he's not.
I expect side to side from Declan. I don't really expect side to side from Calvin Phillips, because I think he has the capability to pass through the lines. I've seen it for Leeds, so I don't really understand why he's doing it he's not doing it for England.
Well, I said this on my Calvin Phillips appreciation video. I did that after the Croatian game because I was just gassed up. And I said, if you give him the license just to do something else with the ball, to get forward a little bit, he can hurt teams in that way as well, because he'll press you high as well. But I said as well on the video, I did understand what England fans were talking about in saying he doesn't really do much. He's just passing to the side. He's very safe and everything else like that. Because I saw it too. And that's got to be instruction from Gareth Southgate. Now, I don't know whether he's had different instructions over the last two group games or what have you. But Southgate obviously clearly trusts him, because he's the only one that's played every single minute so far.
Yeah.
But in order for him, you get the best out of Calvin Phillips, he can't just be doing the safe passes to the side. This is what I get on your Harry Winks for. And I hate to see Calvin Phillips do it. He needs to do what he did in the Croatia game, and he is more than capable. The amount of times he split balls down for Patrick Bamford and everyone else
100
over the season, he's got it in his locker, but he's just got to show it.
100%. I think he does. And I think, unfortunately for him, I say it's unfortunate. I don't think it is unfortunate. Jordan Henderson is somehow, like, he's now back in contention to play. So I think for whatever reason, one of Rice or Phillips may potentially drop out of the team if England progress or against Germany on Tuesday, or even in the Germany game on Tuesday. I feel like he's gonna throw Jordan Henderson into the team. So one of Phillips and Rice will get dropped. And in my opinion, I think Rice should probably get dropped, because I don't think he's had a good Euros. And it's nothing against Declan, but I just feel like in this type of game, when England get the ball, like, you can get at the Germany team. If you're like, you can get at that Germany defense. If you're a bit adventurous in the ball, if you play bravely, you can get at them. So you want the players who are comfortable enough to receive the ball and they make an action, and it's a good action. Vertical passes, line breaking passes, and I don't think Declan does that as well as. In fact, I know Declan doesn't do that as well as.
No, he doesn't. No.
And I know he doesn't do it as well as Henderson. Simple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could do just taking out the two DMs anyway and just playing one and then adding another central midfield. But you know that's Gareth Southgate. You know, he's not going to deviate from that. He's done it.
He's rotten, man.
He's rotten. Yeah.
He's rotten.
But yeah, man. Look, is that what you want to say about Calvin? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to bring some like extra.
No. That was it. I don't really hate. Like, he's been getting a lot of hate from people. Oh, he's bang average and stuff. I do think at times people overgas Phillips, but I think one thing that you can't say about him is that he's a bad player or that he's not a Premier League player. Like, I think Calvin Phillips is a good Premier League player. Like he's shown that. He's shown that. Like I'm not really sure what. No, I'm not hearing anyone say that. Like it's not like people are saying, "Oh, he's the best thing since sliced bread," or "He's world class." He's just a good player. He's a good CDM, and he's good at progressing the ball. And you know what? One thing that's actually I've noticed as well. I didn't like defensively. I've always thought like, yeah, he's calm defensively, but like I feel like he's actually like a bit good defensively, if that makes sense. Like, I thought he was decent, but I think he might be more than decent defensively.
Tobs, I'll just put it as simply as this. He's somebody, when he's playing for us, we don't really talk about him because we don't have to. But when he's not playing, we notice when he's not there.
This is what I'm saying.
Simple as that.
This is what I'm saying. Anyway, I think people are saying I need to jump on Matisse's now.
Okay, man. Yeah, so if you got anything to plug, you know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you don't stop a grinder.
Just my YouTube, man. Just my YouTube. Just go follow the YouTube. Follow me on Instagram as well. Follow me on Twitter. Yeah, so that's it. Right. Thank you for having me, man. I'm gonna get you as well. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. People, like the stream. We're out. Peace.
Safe. Later, KG. Yeah. Later. Bye.